Hello, my name is Jbear, and welcome back. This is episode 2 on the Survivor multiplayer server, V4 Vanilla, and you can see I'm standing in my safe room that I built in last episode, where my skeleton spawner is and the mob grinder. So you can see it's changed a little bit. I was over here, AFK, and opened up the door, went walking on in here, and there was a skeleton in here. And so I have now made this room the full length of that room, put windows in so that I can see what's going on, because I came in here and it killed me. I was low on health and it killed me. You can also see I've made some changes to the kill chamber. I put blocks all around the corners because I think that might be how the skeleton might have gotten out. Just with the entity cramming, it got pushed through the corner. And you can see I've changed the kill chamber a little bit. I've put a pointed dripstone here and a hopper minecart so that it'll pull the items down through and load it down into the chests. I've been spending a lot of time AFK here as I was working on my first episode, and you can see I have a lot of bones and arrows. Quite a few bows. I now have a decent bow for myself. It could be better, but power 2, unbreaking 2, and flame is a pretty good start to a decent bow. I think I combined 2 bows to do that. I also took care of the stone on top of the spawner there so that we don't get skeletons spawning on top. And then as I was leaving here, there was skeletons up there. I forgot to enclose some areas around the top of the drop, and they were getting out. Yeah, I had a little bit of a struggle there. But anyway, I've been spending lots of time here. I've got tons of bones and arrows, and I don't know if other people on the server might be interested in those. And it's been over a week since I've been to the spawn area. So I was thinking what I would do is try to get into the Nether and make my way to the spawn portal, see about possibly clearing a path so that it's rather safe to travel through, and check out spawn, see what kind of shops people set up, and maybe set up my own. We'll see. I'm gonna head over there and see what things look like. Alright, so I think I'm prepared to head into the Nether here. I brought a couple of ender pearls along with me just in case. Oh, great. And I hear a ghast immediately. I ran from one last time. Oh, it sounds close too. But anyway, we need to get to negative 39, positive 48. So let's see. Positive 48 will be this way. Negative 39 is this way. So we need to kind of go diagonally this direction. So I guess I'm just going to start digging. I brought a couple of extra pickaxes along with me. And yeah, I'll see how this goes. I might as well pick up whatever quartz I see along the way too. All right, and there it is. I think this is the spawn portal. I have a staircase leading up to my tunnels to Jbear's base, and very, very long tunnel to get here. Go up the steps and then down some long tunnels. I'll maybe show that a little bit later, but let's go ahead and... Was this a drop off back here? Okay, somebody's blocked it up. But let's go ahead and go in here and see if this is spawn. I believe it's supposed to be. Is this spawn? I guess so. It's certainly changed a lot since I was here, which was about a week ago. And there's a lot of cats. Some buildings. Are these shops? Free EXP. What is this? Is this a mob grinder? Employees only. Oh, an enchanting table. Oh yeah, I guess it is. Is this a skeleton grinder? I hear skeletons. Let's see what pops in here. Yes, it is. So I guess my idea of selling bones and arrows isn't going to work out when there's as much free bones and arrows right here as people want. Is there an entrance to this? There it is. So what are we selling here? Nothing. Oh, over here. Okay, wood. Banner patterns, hay, and oxide daisies. Pay there. Alright, so neither one of these buildings are shops, at least that doesn't seem like it. Free. What's in the free chest? Nothing that I really need. Actually, I'm going to take some dirt. Let's see, what can I put in the free chest to replace the dirt? I'll put a sign in there because I don't have much dirt, actually. Of all things, I don't even have a full stack of dirt. So if someone's giving it away for free, I'll take it. But it doesn't look like there's too much here yet. It does look like a lot of clearing out has been done. And I do want to make a shop, and my idea for a shop is just kind of a general shop that sells whatever I have available to sell. Maybe I'll put bones and arrows in there, but I'll put it at like a really cheap price. Soul sand and soul soil. Anyway, oh, here's something else over here too. 1 saddle for 1 gold ingot. Ooh. Oh no. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a good thing I got that dirt. I can fix this hole now. How did that not do any damage to me at all? I guess I got far enough away from it. Oh, stinking creepers. I thought I was gone and it was going to blow up that little shop there. Yeah, I would like to get some horses, especially with how far I am away from spawn. It'd be nice to have some horses to help me get around faster. So I'm going to take a couple saddles here. Let's see. So I'm going to leave the crafting table behind. And let's see, put it back in the same pattern they had. Okay, so I'll take 2 saddles. Anything else around here? I think that's about it. So I'm gonna figure out what I want my shop to look like and where I want it to go in here. I haven't really thought too much about that, just that I know I want to build something and sell miscellaneous items. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back to my base for now, drop off some of this stuff in my inventory because it's completely filled. And I think I am at the wrong portal. Yeah, this is not where I was before. What happens if I go back through here? Back at spawn. And there's no other portal here, right? No, there's not. So there's, yeah, some linking up issues here. Okay, well, I gotta find my way back up to my tunnels. Maybe I'll have to build a secondary tunnel that comes to this. I think I kind of have the coordinates in mind of where I need to get to, and I'll have to just find a way up there. Alright, I have successfully made it back. I didn't die in the Nether. It was a little bit of a difficult, convoluted way of getting back. I actually ran out of iron and had to make a stone pickaxe, but I've gathered up some various Nether things along the way, just because in order to get through the Nether, I had to dig up some of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of this stuff away that I picked up, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do next. Alright, I've cleaned up my inventory and put away all the stuff that I've gathered up in the Nether. I also cut down a bunch of trees that I had planted over here. You can see the leaves still decaying. And I grew some more mushrooms, so I now have a good supply of mushrooms. Used up all of my oxeye daisies and made plenty of suspicious stew. This should last me at least a little while. Eventually I'm going to make a flower farm for the oxeye daisies in the plains biome nearby, but for now I've got enough to get by on. But one thing I am running short on is food. I've got a little bit of stuff here. I've got some pork chops from some hoglins that I killed in the Nether, but I need to get going with some type of food. Maybe I'll just plant a carrot and potato farm for now. That'll be enough to keep me going, or plant a wheat farm to make bread, something like that. Just something small, because I intend on having villagers very soon, and will hopefully get golden carrots rather quickly. Probably the best food source in the game. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into a big, huge farm, because I'm probably going to make a villager breeder in this episode. Maybe an iron farm, maybe a villager trading hall. I don't know. We'll see how far I get. But that's kind of my next goals, is to do that kind of stuff. But anyway, I better go to sleep before anything else. So I just planted a little carrot and potato farm here behind my house. And I just realized something. I basically have infinite bone meal because of the skeleton farm. There's no sense in me waiting for this to grow. I can just bone meal it. There we go. Everything's fully grown. So I'll go through and harvest this, and I'll replant it, and then probably just let it grow naturally from there, because this probably just gave me enough food. Well, didn't really give me many carrots. Let's grow some more carrots. Alright, let's see what we got in carrots now. 25. Let's do one more full harvest of 8 here. Alright, so that's pretty good. So I'm going to just replant this and let it grow naturally. But anytime I get really low on food, I can just come over here and bone meal this stuff. I got to remember that I basically have all the bone meal I could ever need. So I might also take advantage of it and come over here and bone meal my little farm whenever I need something. Maybe I should make more of an automatic farm, although I guess I still have to plant them manually. But I guess I could make a villager farm with this sometime. And in fact, when I build the villager breeder, I'm thinking that the villager breeder is going to go like right over here in this area, and my villager trading hall is going to go here too. And as far as an iron farm, I don't want it like really close that I have to listen to the iron golems dying all the time. So I might put that inside this mountain a little bit back in this way. So that way, as I'm in my house, I don't have to listen to the noise from it. Although the villager breeder in the trading hall is pretty noisy too. But those can go right over here in this area. So I think that's what I'm going to work on. So I'm going to work on getting materials together for this. I probably don't have everything I need. So I guess the first place to start is the villager breeder. So I think I'm going to start working on that next. Well, so I realized I needed a lot of materials to get started on my villager breeder. And I came over to this plains biome. I've been trying to tame this horse here because I need to get glass. There we go. I've got him tamed. And let's put the saddle on him. See how fast this horse is. I don't think that's great, but it's faster than running around on foot. So I'm going to try to collect up some sand. There's a little bit here. Gather up some of this. I need to be able to get some glass, and there's plenty of other materials that I need. And in fact, the villager breeder, when I first make it, it's going to be kind of crude. It's not going to look great at first, but hopefully in time it will look the way that I want it to. To start off, I just want to get it built. So I'm going to gather up some materials. All right, I've made it back to my base with a horse. I trained up a couple others, or tamed a couple others, and picked the one that seemed like the fastest. And this is actually a pretty fast horse compared to a few of the others that were out there. I mean, I don't know how fast it is, but it seems pretty good. And picked up a couple stacks of sand, picked up a few other things while I was out there. So I'm going to make a little pen for this guy and put some of this stuff away real quick. All right, there's a pen for him, and let's give him some iron horse armor. It's the best I have right now, I believe, unless I've got some down in my spawner area, but I think that's all I have for now. Let's see. So I've got some glass smelting up here, and I've got a plan in mind for what I'm going to build for the villager breeder over here. And I'm going to build up as much of it as I need for now with the blocks that I'm planning to use until I have everything else. So it's going to be a partially complete build with the right blocks as much as I have them, but it requires some pretty exotic things, I guess. And it's going to take a little while before I can get everything because I'm going to need silk touch and, it's going to be some work to get everything I need gathered for the way that I want it to look. And so I've got kind of a plan in mind, starting with this building. It's going to be the villager breeder, and it's going to be a different type of build for me. It's going to be something different than I normally would build. So I'm trying something new, and we're going to see how it goes. And if it turns out okay, then I might carry the theme through and modify this village and continue building up on the mountain like I was talking about. So we'll see. We'll see how it works. But for now, I want to get the villager breeder at least up and running. So I started off getting a little bit distracted and decided to build a bubble elevator going down to my skeleton spawner, because there's a lot of deep slate down there, which I wanted to get. And unfortunately, I drowned. But I got it built. And then I started working on the villager breeder, digging out the area that it needs to go, and I started constructing it. But I quickly realized that I didn't have all of the materials that I needed in order to build it. I had the deep slate, I had the glass, but there was plenty of other materials that I needed to at least get the part of it up and running and functional that I wanted to build. So I went back to spawn and I did some trading with the villagers there until I was able to get a silk touch book so I could enchant my pickaxe, because I needed to go into the Nether to pick up some warped nylium and some other materials while I was here, some warped fungus and things. And then also went and got some crimson nylium and crimson fungus and fought a couple hoglins while I was there. And then I cleared out an area next to the skeleton spawner where I could grow the warped and crimson fungus to get some warped and crimson wood, because I was going to need a lot of that. And then went back and continued building the villager breeder. I found that it's actually pretty difficult to build while it's snowing. It's maybe a mistake to build in a snowy biome, but it'll be a interesting challenge for me. Alright, well, I have made some progress on my villager breeder. As you can see, I'm not just making a square box to put the villagers in. I'm actually making a building, and this is only about halfway done, but it's now functional. So, as you can see from the minecart track, I have taken a couple of villagers in here. Oops. Let's go in here and take a look. And we have one farmer. Doesn't matter what he trades because we're not going to come in here to trade with him, but he'll throw carrots at this guy and they will breed, and then the baby will try to run in here and get across this gap and try to get to those beds. And then it falls down below. I have a double door here because they don't open fence gates. This lets me go in and out without them being able to get out. And if we come around back here and we go down these steps down into the basement, we can see we already have a couple of babies in here, and they will grow and they will swim up to, well, their heads will go up into the water up there, and they will then swim up into the next chamber. And we'll go up and take a look in there. And they'll end up in here. So I put a glass floor in this room here so we can always easily look down in there to see how many villagers we have. So they'll end up in here, and the water will push them over to this corner. And when I need a villager, this way, we got to go back down to the basement. There will be mine carts in this dispenser here, and I just hit the button and it'll come up and it'll pick up a villager and it'll follow the minecart track to wherever we need them to go. So still a little bit left to do, well, quite a bit left to do as far as this building. There's roofs that are going to go on this. I got to take down that platform up there. I still have plenty to build up on top, but now that it is working, I wanted to put villagers in and get them started with the breeding process. That way we can start using them as soon as possible. Whoops, I fell in a hole. At least it wasn't too far. So it's coming along. We'll see how it looks once I'm done with it. I've got an idea in mind of what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to build as much as I can with the materials that I already have, but there are some things I don't have, and I'll just have to finish it once I am able to get some of those materials. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. So as you can see, I made some progress on the villager breeder, and I came over to spawn. I wanted to get another Silk Touch book to have a Silk Touch axe to gather some of the materials that I need. And I happened to notice this. Somebody built a Christmas tree and left some presents for all of us. And then over here, there's a couple other presents. So we're going to check that out. Let me get off this pig. Let's see. Okay, so here's me right here. Oh, wow. So cookies, TNT, bone blocks, efficiency 5 on breaking. That's really good. Regeneration potion, a Merry Christmas hoe, suspicious stew, emeralds, iron, a mending book. That's nice. A looting 3 book, a diamond sword, and it's from Mythical Goddess. So thank you, Mythical Goddess. Packed ice. Let's see, I'm not going to be able to carry all this stuff. And let's go check out what's in here. So Christmas, Fright and Fight. Merry Christmas from Twitch and Koala. So thank you to both of them. And here I am. Oh boy. I can summon a wither. Alright, so let's see. I should be able to carry all of this pretty easily. And I also did come here for some from soul sand, which there's somebody selling it over here someplace, because I want to be able to make some soul lanterns. I think it's this one right here. 2 stacks for 1 diamond. Soul sand and soul soil. Soul sand, I think, is more useful. So I'm going to give him a diamond for that. And I'm going to try to collect what I can here as far as the Christmas gifts and then make my way back to my base. So after returning to my base, I made a new room next to the skeleton grinder where I could grow mushrooms and harvest them to get mushroom blocks. And then I went and harvested an amethyst geode, took away all the calcite and amethyst blocks, and then used my silk touch pickaxe to harvest some of the amethyst clusters. Then I was going to go back to spawn and pick up the rest of my Christmas gifts, and this ghast blew up my portal. I didn't know it blew up the portal because the one in the Nether was fine. And so I built a box around my portal, and then upon returning to the overworld, I spawned in a cave I've never seen before and was very confused. So I walked around, lit things up a little bit, got in a fight with some zombies, and then was going to make my way out. But then I figured, you know what? I should probably dismantle this portal so that I don't accidentally connect to it. And while I was doing that, I almost got killed by a creeper. Thankfully, I heard him sizzle and snuck away. And then I put the mushroom blocks and amethyst to use that I had been harvesting in the villager breeder. So after this, I needed to get some glowberries, and so I went to an azalea tree and left my horse where I thought he'd be safe. While I dug down, and he got struck by lightning and died. I came back up having no clue what happened and didn't know until I looked at the replay mod what had happened. Alright, so here it is, the completed villager breeder. I have gone around, I've added the glowberries that my horse died getting. My poor horse. That was a good horse too. I added some other plants around, and I also added some soul lanterns around as well. So we're going to go take a closer look at it here. And I still have a little bit left to do as far as some details go, like around the outside, maybe some more plants and things around the edges. One thing that I always try to avoid is this right here, where next to the path blocks, when you can see just one pixel of another block, like here, underneath those slabs is another slab. So that way we don't see dirt peeking out underneath. So there might be some little things like that around that I'll take care of, but minor things like that. So this is mostly done with just some little details, and nothing is done on the interior, but we're going to walk through it anyways. And it's working well. As you can see, we have quite a few villagers in here already, and there's still a couple babies down there, so I think it produces like 2 per day. So we're getting quite a few in there, so we're going to have to relocate some of them rather quickly so they don't overcrowd it, but I can also turn it off if it gets too full. So let's go around to the front. All right, so we've got the main entrance here where we can go inside to these villagers in here, which we don't really need to get in here, but we can if we want to. And it is kind of messy inside here, but that's okay. So this is where they live and produce the babies, of course. And we can come over here into this room. There's nothing in any of them yet. They're all completely empty. And they're lit up with torches right now, and that's going to change. So then we can come up the side over here. I also need string because my vines are growing longer than I want them to, and it's getting covered in snow. So I need string. I have none. So I'm going to have to find a skeleton, or not a skeleton spawner, a spider spawner someplace. Oh, I also picked up one of these too, the spore blossom. I picked that up in the lush cave. I thought that was added some nice atmosphere to it with the particles floating around. Another room here. And we can go over this way. So it's kind of confusing and twists and turns, and there's doors and stairs all over the place. That's what I was going for. I was going for something like that. Because kind of what I have in mind for this village is that it's going to be kind of a magical type of place, which is why we have roofs made out of mushrooms and amethyst. And we've got all of this stuff from the Nether with the glowberries and the vines from the Nether. Yeah, so like you can see here, some of this stuff, it's much longer than I want it to be. I don't want the vines to hang down that far, so I have to work on getting some string. And we can come over into here. You know, like I said, interiors are not done. I might work on that in the next episode. We'll see how things go. And with that, that is all I have time for in this episode. And if you like this episode, please leave a like and a comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.